Hey everyone, it's JoJo, and I'm here with the Beyblade Burst Pro Series. The Pro Series is a new line by Hasbro, heavily inspired by its Japanese counterpart. So now you can compete with the elite with Pro Series. First, a thank you to Hasbro for providing the new Beyblade Burst Pro Series to me for video review. This video will be an in-depth look at the new Pro Series tops, so let's get into it. The first wave of the Beyblade Burst Pro Series includes Cho-Z Valtryek, Orbon Guard, and Cho-Z Achilles. And all of these tops are fully equipped with die-cast metal, their proper abilities, and the new launcher and ripcord. Here's a closer look at the new Pro Series packaging, once again heavily inspired by its Japanese counterpart. Let's start off with Cho-Z Valtryek. We have a really nice graphic of the top here in the middle, a really cool blueprint design on the side. And on the back we have all the parts and stats for Cho-Z Valtryek. This is an attack type, a right-spinning Beyblade with burst-resistant wings in the energy layer, and the disc is D69-P, and the performance tip is PR-03 with rubber grip. And here on the right we have the stats, very high in attack and weight. Pretty average in burst and agility, but very low in stamina due to the rubber on the performance tip. Moving on, we have Cho-Z Achilles here, sporting its traditional red colors. Really nice graphic of the top in the middle. Same thing with the blueprint design on the sides. And on the back, we have the parts for Cho-Z Achilles. This is a balance type, a right spinning Beyblade, also with burst-resistant wings, similar to Cho-Z Valtryek. The disc is D66-P, and the performance tip is PR-07 with height extension. Here on the right we have all of the stats, really average everywhere, but very heavy in weight. And lastly, we have Orbon Guard, the defense type of the trio. On the back we have the parts here. Once again, it is a defense type, a right spinning Beyblade with metal defensive shields on the energy layer. The forged disc is D72-P, and the performance tip is PR-06 with stadium traction. And on the right, once again, the stats extremely high in defense and weight due to all that metal, but very low everywhere else. So it is truly a defensive type Beyblade. Before showing off the new Pro Series tops, there is something of importance to mention. The Beyblade Burst Pro Series are only compatible with other Beyblade Burst Pro Series parts, which is stated on all of the boxes on the back here. Only compatible with Beyblade Burst Pro Series system. That might seem a little bit of a downer, but this is only the beginning of the Pro Series. Hasbro will be continuing making more of these. With that said, let's take a look at the new Pro Series. First, a quick look at the new launchers and ripcords. Each Beyblade Burst Pro Series top will come equipped with a launcher and ripcord, and these ones are very much improved than before. So these are only right spinning for now, but again, I'm pretty sure Hasbro will come out with the left rotation launchers. We have a really nice sturdy ripcord here. Nice loop for grip. Also, the launcher itself is very sturdy. Also pretty wide and also has a really nice grip. And here we have the Pro Series Cho-Z Valtryek. Let's start off with the energy layer. And you can clearly see the new die-cast metal implemented in the energy layer. It looks really great. So we have a metal wing here, here, and here. So 3 on the outside. Also down the middle is metal as well. And in addition to the new die-cast metal, it does hold true to its Beyblade ability, burst-resistant wings, which you can see on the sides of the layer. So these little red wings will pop out when you launch your Beyblade hard enough, which should be easy because we have the new launcher and ripcord, which will provide you more power. But for the purposes of this video, I will pop them out manually just to give you an idea. So we have one here that you could just kind of pop out with your fingernail, another one here. So you could clearly see the 2 wings here, but this last one is what really provides the burst resistance. When I pop this out, you'll see a little red tab that will come popping in here, just like that. So what that does, it actually blocks the prongs of the forged disc from going all the way to the end, so it'll stop it from bursting. It's like a burst blocker, which is really cool. It adds more to your burst resistance, making your Beyblade much stronger, and that looks really cool. And here on the back, Instead of slopes, we now have teeth for locking in your Beyblade. Moving on, we have the new forged disc. This is D69-P, also known as Blitz. It holds this triangular shape, which matches very well with the energy layer of Cho-Z Valtryek. Lots of metal on the top, but if you flip it on the bottom, we do have some plastic on the underside. We also have these really cool little flaps that pop out, like so, adding more contact points for your attacking power. So this definitely pairs well with Cho-Z Valtryek because of the shape, the weight, and how much attack you could put with this particular Beyblade. And next up, we have the performance tip, PR-03, also known as Jolt. So this is a rubber tip, meaning it'll have a lot more friction on the surface of the new base stadium. So that'll provide very, very fast movement and very hard hits toward your opposing Beyblade. It's also in this really cool pinwheel shape as well. So this Beyblade in particular, very, very high for attacking power. And when you put this together, you do want to make sure the burst resistant wings are retracted in. Put in your disc and fasten it all off with the performance tip. And that is Cho-Z Valtryek. Next up, we have the Pro Series Cho-Z Achilles. Let's start off with the energy layer. And once again, like with Cho-Z Valtryek, we do have the new die-cast metal implemented here. It is in the sword, which is very fitting for Achilles. You can see that nice gleam in the lighting there. Looks really, really awesome. All the stickers have been applied. You can see it down here in the middle as well. It looks really, really nice. All the details are really, really cool looking. And once again, very similar to Cho-Z Valtryek. It does have the burst resistant wings on the sides here. The blue parts are the wings. So the ones on the top and bottom don't really move as much. It doesn't have like a fixed position. You could kind of bring it up and it just kind of retracts back in. It's on a spring. So when you launch your Beyblade again, the force of it will push these out, but then slowly, as it slows down, it'll go back in. So that's the top and the bottom here. So those are those types of burst resistant wings. However, on the side, we have the ones that are, again, similar to the Cho-Z Valtryek one that do pop out and kind of stay that way unless it gets hit. So let's pop these out for you so you could see. Now you can see that the blue is more exposed on the left and right side. But unlike Cho-Z Valtryek, this has two of the burst stoppers on both sides of the energy layer, so it doubles the amounts of the burst resistance. Next up, we have the forged disc D66-P, also known as 00 or 00. This is what gives this Beyblade a lot of weight in its stats here. This is also compatible with a frame, and I love this disc because it's very heavy. It offers great stamina, great defense, great attacking weight behind it. So overall, it's just a good all-around disc, which makes sense for Cho-Z Achilles since it is a balanced type. And moving on, we have the performance tip PR-07, also known as Dimension. And this ability is, it has height extension, but it also has a rubber tip in the middle as well. That black part is rubber. So right now it is in the lowest height, and you can kind of see that the rubber tip does poke out a little bit. So that will make contact with the stadium, but you could also turn the tip here until it clicks. You can see it is getting a little bit higher, but the tip is still sticking out. You could keep going as well. And it is getting a little bit higher. You can definitely tell the difference now. And I believe this is the highest it could go. So yeah, that's a really cool ability for the performance tip because it gives you a little bit more strategies on the height of your Beyblade and where the contact points will be when you battle your opponent. And when you put this Beyblade together, once again, pretty much the same as Cho-Z Valtryek, you want to push in the burst resistant wings so it does not block the disc when you fasten it all together. And that is Cho-Z Achilles. And lastly, this is honestly my favorite of the trio. We have Pro Series Orbon Guard, a very defensive type Beyblade. Here is the energy layer, and this thing is tanky. All that silver part you see, all of those, that is the die-cast metal implemented in the energy layer. It's got a really nice shape, pretty circular, little edgy around the edges, but overall very defensive type Beyblade, and because of the shape, it will hold a lot of stamina than most defensive type Beyblades. So, but yeah, really, really cool. I love the motif in the middle as well. Looks really, really nice. Even these silver balls here are metal. And the forged disc is D72-P, also known as Sting. This is a really, really great disc overall. Very wide, pretty circular, and also has a really cool defensive ability as well. So in addition to being very balanced, this bottom part here does have a rebound ability. You can see that I am moving the metal part, but in battle, it is possible that the opponent can hit this part of the disc and kind of have a rebound attack against it. So yeah, paired with Orbon Guard, it really helps with the defensive abilities. Also, the shape of it matches very, very well with the energy layer. And you really want that balance in your Beyblade. And the performance tip, probably the most unique of them all, is PR-06, also known as Quest. And this one has stadium traction as its ability. You can see why. So we have this suction cup looking type of tip, and it is rubbered. So what that does, it could stick to the surface of the stadium and just stand still and keep the Beyblade spinning where it is, which is really, really cool. It spins very, very well. We have these little weights on the side of it to help it with its spin. And that is pretty fun. I cannot wait to use this in the new Elite Base Stadium. It's gonna be so, so fun. And that is Orbon Guard. So that is my in-depth look at the new Beyblade Burst Pro Series tops. Once again, thank you so much to Hasbro for providing the new Pro Series to me for video review. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time with more Beyblade Burst. See you soon.